Hello, bonjour, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you are here. It is well known that the Château de Fontainebleau is Napoleon's favorite palace. But did you know that he owned a private chateau before he became an emperor? It is a Château de Malmaison. The Château de Malmaison is a charming and historic French estate adored by Napoleon. It was a former residence of First Consul Napoleon Bonaparte and his wife Joséphine, and later the last residence of Empress Joséphine after her divorce from Napoleon I. And it played a surprisingly big role in French history for such a peaceful-looking place. It is located just outside of Paris, in the town of Malmaison. Today, please come with me to see this refined, elegant estate. Let's go! Allons-y! Before talking about this beautiful chateau, let me tell you a little bit about Napoleon's first wife, Empress Joséphine. Born Marie-Joseph Rose Taché de la Pagerie in 1763 on the Caribbean island of Martinique. Joséphine grew up in a colonial plantation before she moved to France and married a wealthy aristocrat, Alexandre de Beauharnais. Unfortunately, during the French Revolution, Joséphine's husband was executed. Widowed and navigating post-revolutionary Paris, Joséphine met a young and ambitious military general named Napoleon Bonaparte. They married in 1796, and Joséphine became Empress of the French when Napoleon crowned himself emperor in 1804. She was known for her charm, elegance, and social grace, which helped soften Napoleon's image and win over the French elite. Sadly, despite their deep affection, Joséphine and Napoleon had no children together, and he divorced her in 1810 to try for an heir. Still, Napoleon always held Joséphine in high regard, even after their separation. Joséphine spent her later years at her beautiful estate in Malmaison, where she focused on gardening, art, and her beloved roses. She passed away in 1814, just before Napoleon's fall from power. The Château de Malmaison is a museum dedicated to the Napoleonic era. It was a residence of Napoleon Bonaparte and Joséphine from 1799 to 1814. Today, the chateau houses a permanent collection that offers insights into their lives and the Napoleonic period. Joséphine purchased it in 1799, when Napoleon was away on one of his military campaigns, and turned it into a beautiful, elegant retreat. When Napoleon returned and became First Consul of France, Malmaison became a kind of unofficial government retreat. Surprisingly, it became a power center during Napoleon's consulate period before he became Emperor Napoleon I. From 1799 to 1802, Napoleon and Joséphine spent significant time in Malmaison. Along with the Tuileries Palace in Paris, Malmaison essentially served as a center of power during those years. If you want to learn about Napoleon Bonaparte quickly, please check out the All About Napoleon Bonaparte and his favorite palace video. The chateau is not massive or overwhelming like Versailles or Fontainebleau. Instead, it has a more intimate and graceful feel. After Napoleon and Joséphine divorced in 1809 because she couldn't provide an heir, she continued to live in Malmaison until her death in 1814. The estate became a symbol of their personal story, a place of power but also love, ambition, and eventual separation. The facade of the Château de Malmaison is rather modest, but elegant. As I step into the main entrance, I'm walking into what was once a private home and seat of power during the consulate. The space is refined but not overpowering. There are marble busts of Joséphine and Napoleon in the vestibule. The Salon du Conseil, or the council room in English, is the most historically important room. Napoleon and his ministers held government meetings here when Malmaison served as a seat of power. The dining room is ornate and symmetrical, decorated in the Empire style with classical motifs. The table is set as it might have been for one of Josephine's dinners, simple but stylish. Napoleon preferred modest meals, while Josephine hosted refined social gatherings here. The library at the Château de Malmaison was designed in 1800 and is a well-preserved example of Empire-style architecture. Apparently, it also contains a secret staircase that led Napoleon directly to his rooms on the first floor. The music room showcases the tastes and preferences of Josephine. It houses Josephine's harp and her daughter Queen Hortense's piano, and displays paintings from her dismantled collection. The room, along with other rooms of the chateau, reflects the consulate style, showcasing the Empress's influence and the grandeur of the era. Josephine's bedroom is soft and luxurious, with rich fabrics. I see her bed, dressing table, personal letters, and portraits. Everything reflects her refined romantic personality. It's here she spent her final days in 1814. Napoleon's room is more austere, military and masculine. I see his travel desk, uniforms, and personal effects. It's a reminder that even in this serene setting, Napoleon remained a man constantly on the move, even while shaping an empire. The death mask of Napoleon Bonaparte at Malmaison is one of several known casts, made shortly after his death in 1821 on the island of St. Helena. The mask depicts Napoleon with closed eyes, a serene expression, and a slightly gaunt appearance, reflecting the physical toll on his illness, likely stomach cancer. The gallery and portrait rooms display portraits of the Bonaparte family, key figures of the era. These paintings really help bring the people of that time to life. There are permanent and rotating exhibits in the chateau. I see Napoleon's rise and legacy, and his personal and intimate items I did not see at the Château de Fontainebleau or at Les Invalides. Even after their divorce in 1810, Napoleon continued to visit Joséphine and Malmaison, and they remained on friendly, even affectionate terms. In fact, his last visit to Malmaison was in 1815, just before he left for exile on St. Helena. By then, Joséphine had already died, and the visit was said to be very emotional for him. Napoleon was said to be deeply moved walking through the gardens and rooms that reminded him of Joséphine, the love of his life. One of the highlights of the Château de Malmaison is the gardens, which Joséphine turned into a botanical haven. It's peaceful and picturesque, and offers a lovely glimpse into her refined taste. Overall, the Château de Malmaison is a beautiful, peaceful, and deeply personal museum experience. Rather than overwhelming grandeur, you get grace, refinement, and insight into the daily lives of two of France's most famous historical figures, Napoleon and Joséphine. If you have enjoyed it, please do give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again next week. Please subscribe if you want to see more of my weekly videos. Thanks so much for watching.